I 22M surprise visited my girlfriend 22F and walked in on her watching TV in bed with her guy friend. What should I do? I mean, surprises are meant to be thrilling, right? That's what I reasoned when I made the decision to pay Emily a surprise visit. We have been dating for about 3 years and are both 22 years old. Although there have been ups and downs in our relationship, we have always been able to overcome them. I had total faith in her. I therefore reasoned that having a free weekend would be the ideal chance to go somewhere on a whim and spend time with her. I was excited and full of enthusiasm when I started the day. I got up early, loaded up my overnight bag, and headed out. I didn't mind spending over 2 hours driving to her apartment. Thoughts of what expression she might have when I knocked on her door without warning excited me. Along the way, I even picked up some chocolates and her favorite flowers. Upon reaching her apartment complex, I had a surge of uneasy energy. Excitedly, I parked the car and approached her floor, my pulse racing. I took a long breath as I stood outside her door, attempting to calm myself. It was slightly ajar when I knew it was going to be knocked. That was strange. I made the decision to silently allow myself in, hoping to surprise her even more. I carefully closed the door behind me as I went inside. With the exception of the slight sound of a TV emanating from the bedroom, the flat was quiet. She must have been having a quiet day, lounging in bed and watching TV, as my heart grew fonder of her. I smiled at the notion of her astonishment as I tiptoed down the corridor door. However, my heart froze as soon as I arrived at her bedroom doorway. Emily was laying in bed there. She wasn't alone, either. Beside her lay a man I faintly recognized from her social media, a college buddy. The sight of them, both fully dressed and simply watching TV, took me by surprise. With a thump, the flowers and chocolates fell out of my hands and into the floor. When Emily heard the scream, she turned to face me, her eyes going wide with amazement. She yelled, fumbling to sit up. Ryan, her friend, shifted awkwardly to sit up as well, looking equally astonished. What in the world is happening here? I managed to gasp out, hurt and angry at the same time, my voice trembling. With her face hot, Emily stumbled. It's not what it looks like. This is Alex, a college buddy of mine. All we did was watch TV. It's nothing more than that. I promised. I had the impression that I was dreaming. As I tried to understand what I was seeing, my mind was racing. Even though they were both completely clothed and not acting inappropriately, something about the scene's intimacy and their easy comfort with one another gave me cause for concern. I was overcome with a sense of betrayal. Just consuming television. I said it again, sarcasm seeping into my voice. In the midst of bed, by himself? Emily sprang to her feet, beseeching. Please, Ryan, I would never betray you, you know that. Alex is merely a companion. We became disoriented in the movie we were watching. It is entirely innocent. Sensing the tension, Alex stood up hurriedly and said something incoherently about walking away. He walked awkwardly past me, not making eye contact, heading for the door. Emily moved to stand next to me as soon as he left, but I turned aside so I could not meet her gaze. Please, Ryan. Her voice broke as she replied, you have to believe me. Nothing is happening between Alex and me. I was only trying to be a friend to him during a difficult moment that he's been going through. I was tempted to trust her. I did, truly. However, I couldn't get the picture of them curled up in bed together out of my head, and I was filled with a sense of betrayal. How come you didn't let me know he was coming over? With a tight voice, I asked. I didn't think it was a big deal, she said, her eyes starting to flood up with tears. Since we've been friends for a long time, I didn't believe you would take offense. Well, Emily, I'm not happy. I'm disappointed you didn't thought to let me know about it. That you were sharing a bed with another man irks me. And I'm annoyed that this is how I had to learn about it. I withdrew when she reached out to touch my arm. Please don't do this, Ryan. I cherish you. To me, you are everything. I apologize if I gave you any cause for anxiety, but Alex and I are not involved in any romantic relationship. I inhaled deeply as I worked to control my feelings. I need some time to reflect, I eventually uttered. I can't ignore this and act like it's not real. Emily nodded, her face contorted. I comprehend. Take as much time as you require. Please trust me when I declare that you are the only person I love. With a flurry of emotions racing through my head, I picked up my luggage and left her flat. For a while, I drove around in circles, trying to make sense of everything. A part of me yearned to trust her and believe that there was nothing wrong between her and Alex. However, I couldn't get the picture of them in bed together out of my head. I stayed at a motel that night, unable to sleep since the scenario kept playing over in my head. I made the decision to talk to my best friend Mark the following day. I needed someone to help me work through my emotions, and he had always been my go-to source for guidance. As I told Mark everything that had happened, he listened to me attentively. He sat back in his chair thoughtfully when I was finished. That's tough, man, he finally replied. I understand your anger. However, you must ask yourself if you have faith in Emily. Has she ever done anything to make you question her before? I gave a headshake. No, she hasn't done so. However, witnessing her in bed with another man, I understand. Mark cut in. It appeared awful. However, based on what you've told me, it doesn't seem like she was acting improperly. She was attempting to support a pal. Maybe you should give her the benefit of the doubt if you love her and she has never given you any reason to question her. I thought about what he said for some time. Mark was correct. Emily had never before given me cause for concern, And from the moment I went in, she had been upfront with me. Perhaps I was allowing my fears to overcome me. I decided to go back and speak with Emily after having a lengthy conversation with Mark. I had to give her some space and see if we could resolve this together. She answered the door to her apartment when I got there, her eyes swollen and red from sobbing. It appeared as though she had not slept at all. She softly whispered, "Ryan," and moved aside to make room for me. "I truly apologize. Since you departed, I've been in disarray. I inhaled deeply, attempting to control my feelings. I said, "We need to talk." She gestured to the couch with a nod. As soon as we sat down, her eyes showed signs of nervousness. "Emma, I love you," I said. "Furthermore, I want to trust you. But it genuinely upset me to watch you in bed with another man." "I understand," she murmured, her voice faltering, "and I apologize profusely. I didn't aim to cause you harm. In reality, Alex and I are simply buddies. I was just trying to be there for him since I know how difficult this time is for him. I apologize for not telling you sooner. I should have." I looked at her face and trying to find any hint of dishonesty, but all I saw was sincere regret and affection. "In the end, I want to believe you," I said, "but I was genuinely shaken by this. I need you to tell the truth to me going forward. I must be informed if something similar occurs again." "I swear," she murmured, extending her hand to grasp mine. "I promise to always be sincere with you. Ryan, you hold the utmost significance in my life. I wish to never lose you." We sat there holding hands for a long time in quiet. The tension started to release gradually. I understood that I had to trust Emily if I was genuinely in love with her, and maybe we could get through this together if she was prepared to tell me the truth going forward. We talked a lot about what had happened and how it affected us throughout the course of the following several days. I attempted to let go of my fears after Emily informed me that her friendship with Alex was only platonic. It wasn't simple, but I knew I had to trust her if I wanted our relationship to last. I eventually got to meet Alex and we had an open discussion. He told me that he had no romantic interest in Emily and apologized for the incident. It helped clear the air and was awkward but essential. After a few months, Emily and I started to regain one another's trust. Our bond strengthened as a result of our increased candor and openness with one another. The thing with Alex was just a blip on the path that we'd both figured out how to get past. In retrospect, I've come to understand that partnerships are never flawless. They demand understanding, trust, and continuous communication. Even if the unexpected visit didn't go as expected, I still learned a lot about love and trust from it, and I felt appreciative of that.